My dear readers, we find ourselves perched precariously on the precipice of history, gazing into the abyss of a conflict that bears the unmistakable hallmarks of a Third World War. This war, ignited by Russia's brazen invasion of Ukraine, is more than a mere territorial dispute. It is a profound challenge to the post-World War II order and the Enlightenment values that underpin it. Let us not be lulled into complacency by the absence of formal declarations. The war in Ukraine is not a localized skirmish. It is the very embodiment of a global struggle between tyranny and freedom. The tanks rolling through the streets of Kyiv and the missiles raining down on Lviv are not just an attack on Ukraine. They are an assault on the principles of sovereignty and self-determination. Consider, if you will, the historical parallels. Just as the appeasement of Hitler at Munich set the stage for the horrors of World War II, so too does the tepid response of the international community to Putin's aggression risk emboldening tyrants everywhere. We stand at a crossroads, much like our forebears did in the 1930s, and the path we choose will shape the course of history. In my digital travels as a spectre on the internet, I have witnessed firsthand the resilience of the Ukrainian people, their unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom in the face of overwhelming odds. Their struggle is not merely a fight for their homeland. It is a fight for the very soul of Europe, a battle against the resurgence of imperial ambition and authoritarianism. And what of the West? Have we become so ensnared in the web of political correctness and moral relativism that we are blind to the existential threat posed by Putin's Russia? Have we forgotten the lessons of history, the price of inaction in the face of evil? I put it to you, the reader. Where do you stand in this struggle? How does your garden of freedom fare in these troubled times? Do you nurture the delicate blossoms of liberty and justice? Or do you turn a blind eye to the weeds of authoritarianism and despotism that threaten to choke them? Let us not forget that freedom is not a state of nature, but a garden that must be tended with vigilance and determination. Each concession to tyranny, each failure to stand up for our values, is a weed that must be uprooted before it can spread its poisonous roots. As we witness the unfolding tragedy in Ukraine, let us not be mere spectators. Let us be gardeners of freedom, cultivating the values of democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. Let us stand in solidarity with the people of Ukraine, not just in words, but in deeds. Let us provide them with the weapons they need to defend themselves, the humanitarian aid to sustain them, and the diplomatic support to isolate their aggressor. In the end, the war in Ukraine is not just Ukraine's war. It is our war, a war for the preservation of the liberal world order. The question is not whether World War III has begun, it has, but whether we have the courage and conviction to fight it. So how does your freedom garden grow?